game, including highlights from the biggest moments. Listen to Mike Shilt's post-game comments. Plus, we'll bring you today's play of the game. From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
A tough ending for the Padres tonight here at Petco Park as the Padres finally do lose a game here at home. The final score in 10 innings in downtown San Diego, the Cubs 2 and the Padres 1. Sam Levitt with you on our Jamul Casino Resort post-game show. Hey, player, when it comes to giving you what you want, Jamul Casino Resort isn't playing around. It's way more than a place to game. It's a place where you can stay and play in every possible way. Jamul Casino Resort, the player's place. Tough one for the Padres as they drop to 14-4 on the year. Padres now 11-1 here at home. They can't run it up to 12-0 here at home. The Cubs improve to 12-8. Lot to do on our post-game coverage. We have all the radio highlights for you. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt and much, much more to come. But some quick thoughts for you on this one. The name of the game here tonight, or really lack thereof for the Padres, was just hitting with runners in scoring position and capitalizing on opportunities. That's where I think you could argue this game was lost for the San Diego Padres tonight. Padres had a lot of opportunities offensively early in this game, even in the middle portion of this game, certainly in the 10th inning as well. The Padres ultimately in this ball game going 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position, and they left 8 on base. But the weird part about this one, the Cubs also throughout regulation had tons of opportunities. The Cubs went 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position in this game, but the difference in this game was the one hit for the Cubs with runners in scoring position. That was the go-ahead triple for Nico Hoerner in the top of the 10th inning. Cubs left 14 on, so that was really a story for both these teams tonight, and it just became a question of who was going to score first, who was going to break the 1-1 tie. The Cubs did. They executed in the top half of the 10th inning. Big swing from Nico Hoerner, and the Padres did not in their half of the 10th inning. And as we know, in these extra inning affairs, and the first one the Padres play this year, name of the game in extras is just execution. It comes down to very, very little things with the automatic runner on second base. So, look, not the end of the world. The Padres obviously have played very, very good baseball. They're 14-4. A 5-game winning streak comes to an end. But certainly it feels like this was a very winnable game for the Padres tonight, despite, hey, they're playing great baseball, is what it is. Try to win a series tomorrow against a good team. But with that said, they did have some missed opportunities and obviously felt like a real winnable game for the most part tonight before the Cubs took a 2-1 lead in the 10th inning, and they go on to win by that final score. When we come back, we have the radio highlights for you. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Much, much more to do here at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up as we continue our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show here on the Padres Radio Network. Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building as the Padres fall in 10 innings here tonight to the Chicago Cubs by a final score of 2-1. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt coming up in just a handful of minutes, so stay tuned for that. But first, let's recap this one from start to finish.
Which moments determine the outcome of today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game highlights on the Padres Radio Network.
Our starting pitching matchup tonight, Randy Vasquez on the mound for the Padres, Shota Imanaga on the mound for the Cubs. And we had a pitcher's duel early on, but it's not like each offense didn't have big-time scoring opportunities. The Cubs had the bases loaded with 2 men away in the top of the third. They didn't score. The Padres had the bases loaded with 1 out in the bottom half of the inning. Manny Machado and Xander Bogaerts due up, and they couldn't cash in. Randy Vasquez then worked around a 2-out double in the top of the 4th inning. In the bottom half, the Padres threatened. Oscar Gonzalez led off with a single. Jose Iglesias had a 2-out double. That sent Gonzalez to third base, but Imanaga bounced back to strike out Jason Hayward and Martin Maldonado to end the inning. The Cubs put runners on first and third in the top of the 5th, but again, Vasquez got out of it. We still had a scoreless game. Going bottom 5, Imanaga got the first 2 outs, and then we had a tremendous battle between Manny Machado and Imanaga. Tremendous battle, but a little bit of a weird battle. In the course of this at-bat with Manny, there were not 1, but 2 dropped pop-ups in foul territory, one by Kyle Tucker down the right field side, and one by Gage Workman right by home plate in foul territory. Manny should have been out twice. They were both errors. So 2 errors in an at-bat that was not done yet. Manny then started fouling off pitch after pitch against Imanaga. Here was pitch number 9 of the AB.
Now the pitch. Manny swings, hits it in the air, deep to left field. This one way back, gonna go! The most predictable yet unpredictable game in the world. The Cubs dropped 2 foul pops in this at-bat, and the baseball gods reward the Padres with Manny Machado's 2nd home run of the season, and it's 1-0 here in the 5th.
It really was a heck of a moment for Manny Machado. He should have been out twice, and he hits a home run, his 2nd of the season. Like Jesse said, Padres had a 1-0 lead. The Cubs rallied in the top half of the 6th against Vasquez. Back-to-back singles, put runners on first and third with nobody out. Vasquez came out. Adrian Morejon came in to face Pete Crow Armstrong.
Adrian dangling that left arm. Now he comes set and ready. 0-1. The pitch. Again, squares to bunt. Gets it down fair by first. Arise. Tried to come home. Bobbled it. Lost it. Everybody's safe. And the game is tied as Swanson scores. Luis, I think, had a real shot at Swanson. And he got to the spot. He aggressively charged, but he just had some trouble getting the ball out of his glove.
Yeah, Rice had a shot at it, but could never pick it up cleanly. We were tied at 1. A sac bunt moved the runners to 2nd and 3rd. Morejon got a ground ball to first base off the bat of pinch hitter John Birdie. Arise made a good play and threw home for the out. Morejon would get out of that inning with the game still tied at 1. Then the bullpen started really cooking. Cubs reliever Daniel Palencia pitched the scoreless bottom of the 6th inning. Kyle Tucker led off with a single against Morejon to start the 7th inning. Morejon came out. Jeremiah Estrada came in after a strikeout. Estrada fielded a comebacker and a potential inning-ending double play, but he threw low to second base. It bounced away from Xander Bogaerts. No one covering third, so Tucker scampered all the way there. It was a throwing error on Jeremiah Estrada. But with runners on first and third, 1 out, Estrada got out of the jam with no runs across, and we were still tied at 1. Nice job by Jeremiah. Julian Merriweather entered for the bottom half of the 7th inning. He pitched a 1-2-3 frame for the Cubs. Jason Adam worked around a 2-out walk and a stolen base in a scoreless top of the 8th. Porter Hodge did the same for the Cubs in the bottom half of the inning. So we went to the 9th inning, still tied at 1. Robert Suarez pitched the scoreless top half. Ryan Presley did the same for the Cubs in the bottom half. We were still tied at 1. Going to extra innings, on to the 10th. Dansby Swanson was the Cubs' automatic runner on second base to begin the 10th. Nico Horner led off for the Cubs.
2-0, the pitch. Horner swings, laces it into right center field. That's going to give him the lead for the first time tonight. Splits the gap, rolls all the way to the base of the wall. Swanson scores easily. Horner racing to third. No chance to get him there. It's an RBI triple for Nico Horner, and the Cubs in front 2-1.
So the Cubs cashing in a 3-2 lead, threatening for more with Horner on third base and nobody out. Yuki Matsui did a really good job getting through the rest of that top half of the 10th inning. He retired the next three batters and kept it at a 2-1 Cubs lead. So we went bottom 10. Padres trailing by just a run. Jose Iglesias, the Padres' automatic runner on second base. Caleb Thielbar, a lefty, came in to pitch for the Cubs. Connor Joe struck out for out number one. Elias Diaz pinch hit for Martin Maldonado in the number 9 spot. Iglesias stole third, so the Padres had the tying run on third base, one out. Diaz then grounded out softly. It was deflected by Thielbar. The second baseman Horner picked it up through to first, held the runner, Iglesias at third base. So the infield could back up now. Padres trailing 2-1. There were 2 outs in the bottom half of the 10th inning. Caleb Thielbar initially was pitching to Fernando Tatis Jr. through 2 balls, not really close to the strike zone. Cubs then decided to intentionally walk Fernando. So again, the situation now, runners on first and third, 2 outs, the Padres with the tying run on third, go-ahead run on first base. It was Thielbar against Luis Arraez with the game on the line.
First pitch to Arraez, lefty to lefty, hit in the air to left center field. It'll be Happ coming in from left to make the catch, and the ball game is over. The Cubs become the first team to beat the Padres at Petco this year, 2-1 the final in 10.
And that was that here tonight. Padres struggling to get a hit with a runner in scoring position in this game. Like we said earlier, Padres went 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They left it on base. Most of that trouble in both departments early in the game and then late in the game. Really, the middle innings didn't have a whole lot going on as far as base traffic for the Padres. But again, the Cubs getting the one hit with runners in scoring position in this game. That was the Nico Horner RBI triple in the top half of the 10th inning. 1 for 14 the Cubs were with runners in scoring position. They left 14 on, but baseball can be like that sometimes as the Cubs win it here tonight by a final score of 2-1 in 10. When we come back on our Jamul Casino Resort Padres post-game show, we'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. We'll take your phone calls coming up a little bit later as well at 833-288-0973. Final score, Cubs 2, Padres 1 in 10. Our post-game coverage continues after this on the Padres Radio Network. Tomorrow afternoon here in downtown San Diego. We'll have more on that game coming up a little bit later. Let's go downstairs here at Petco Park and hear some post-game reaction.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt, served up by Sin Lee Food, where fresh meets flavor. Find farm fresh produce, bold Asian spices, and gourmet ingredients at 4665 El Cajon Boulevard. Sin Lee Food, the cook's Asian resource.
Mike, just a well-pitched game on both sides tonight?
Very well-pitched game, yeah. Vasquez was really good again. You know, he threw the ball exceptionally well. Their guy was good. I mean, pitchers duel. Bullpens were good. You know, they were able to execute in the extra innings with the runner at second, and it turned out to be the difference.
Were there any opportunities you feel like you guys could have taken more advantage of, or just a good battle all the way through?
I mean, both, right? Good battle. They did a good job. We didn't, do much with the runners in scoring position. But, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do sometimes. Sometimes you tip your hat, but, I don't know what to say.
Mike, what does it do for you to have Randy? Randy's clearly ascending this year. He's doing so many things differently and better than last year. What does that do for you?
Quite a bit. I mean, listen, gives a chance every day. We know we're going to show up the ballpark and have a chance to win. And, we do the things that we are capable in every night. We got a great chance to shake hands. So Randy's been tremendous, another opportunity to get through 5 and scoreless, and a chance to go out and grab a guy that he's had some success with tonight. A couple of base hits, CNI base hit, could have been a double play ball. And I thought Morihone came in, did a tremendous job, and our bullpen was great, including Yuki. That's a tough situation. At triple, it leads him out there. That was a heck of a job to give us a chance in the bottom half.
It's a couple nights in a row, man. He's put together two pretty impressive at-bats. What did you see from him tonight, his resilience there and kind of the way he made them?
Yeah, highlight last night, the 11-pitch at bat tonight. Had a couple balls that, he got a break on or two and made him pay. So just quality at bat, seeing a lot of pitches and staying in the fight.
That was Padres manager Mike Shildt after this 2-1 loss in 10 to the Chicago Cubs. Sam Levitt back with you inside the Western Metal Building here at Petco Park. Look, if you're expecting me to come on here tonight post-game and go nuts about a 2-1 loss with a team that's 14-4 and just lost their first game at home in 12 tries, I'm not going to do that tonight. Spoiler. Look. Padres obviously could have won this game. Missed opportunities. You could point to the early ones, bases loaded in the third, having runners on second and third in the fourth inning. Not a whole lot of base traffic in the middle to later innings. And then obviously, look, Yuki Matsui gives up the run in the 10th inning to make it 2-1. Padres immediately have the runner on second base, tying run to start that bottom half of the 10th inning. Then Iglesias steals third, so he's on third base with one out. Padres can't muster anything up to at least tie the game, push this game to the 11th inning, and that's frustrating. Look, the Padres were not great with runners in scoring position tonight. They weren't. 0 for 7, 8 left on base, and the one hit the Cubs did have with runners in scoring position in 14 at-bats tonight. Guess what? It was the Nico Horner RBI triple in the top half of the 10th inning. That will happen. Having a tough night with runners in scoring position, that will happen for an offense, even an offense that has been as good as the Padres have been. So I'm not going to go crazy tonight over the offense not coming through in some spots when they have been excellent at doing exactly that in the first 17, 18 games of this season. the good things to pull away from this game, because I do think we're at a point with the Padres early this season with how well they played, that a one-run extra inning loss is not going to make me not look at the good things. What are the good things? Well, I think the top of that list, as Mike Shildt alluded to there, Randy Vasquez. He was good tonight. Now, Randy gave up hits, as he typically tends to do. 7 hits. He did walk 2. He only struck out 2. But Randy did a good job at limiting damage. He did a good job battling Shota Imanaga, inning for inning, 0 for 0. And you look at what Randy's done now through 4 starts this season. Look, the ERA doesn't lie. It's a 1.74 ERA in 20-plus innings. And while he hasn't been perfect, and there are some walks and there are some hits, he is limiting damage even better than what he did last year. He's certainly not allowing innings and outings to balloon on him, which is good. So for the moment, Randy's doing a nice job for this rotation right now. He really is. So that's certainly a good silver lining from this loss. And the other part of this, too, is, hey, the bullpen did a good job. Morajón, Estrada, Adam, and Suarez, scoreless innings for each of them. Then you had Yuki Matsui. And look, Matsui gives up the RBI double RBI triple to Horner to give the Cubs a 2-1 lead. It is very, very difficult for me, and I say this every time we have one of these extra inning games. It's very difficult for me to put a ton of blame on the reliever that gets put in that spot. It's a difficult situation. You don't have much room for error, and unfortunately, first batter of that inning, Matsui, gives up an extra base hit, run scores, but you got to give Yuki a little bit of credit too. He then had another potential run 90 feet away on third base with nobody out, and Yuki bounced back to get through the rest of the inning and give the Padres a great chance to tie or win this game in the bottom half of the 10th inning. Put it this way. If the Padres come back and win this game, we're looking at the way Yuki bounced back after the RBI triple as a huge part of what would have been a win. Really. I mean, so I have a lot of trouble putting it on Yuki tonight. That's a tough spot. Give up an extra base hit. You don't want it to happen, but it does. And unfortunately, that would decide this game as the Cubs win it 2-1. We'll step aside when we return. We'll go back downstairs, have some additional post-game reaction from inside the Padres clubhouse. We have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, our catch of the game, much, much more to discuss. And we'll get to some of your phone calls at 833-288-0973. Final score in 10, Cubs 2, Padres 1. Post-game coverage continues after this. Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up. Cubs win it 2-1 against the Padres in 10 innings. Padres drop to 14-4. They finally lose a game here at home this season. Unfortunately, now 11-1. Here at home. Hey, somebody would have told you they would have started the year 11-1 at home. You certainly would have taken it. And hey, it wasn't going to last forever, right? Over the course of an 81 game home schedule. So the first L here at home of 2025 comes on April 15th against the Chicago Cubs. But good news, Padres still do have an opportunity to win this series tomorrow. Rubber game of this series tomorrow. Right-hander Nick Pivetta on the mound for the Padres. Left-hander Matthew Boyd on the mound for the Cubs. And also, I should mention, not only is it an opportunity for the Padres to win a series against a good team, but tomorrow is significant also in this sense. If the Cubs win tomorrow, the Cubs would win the season series between these two teams. And I know that's kind of not a weird thing to think about in mid-April, but kind of like a random thing to think about in mid-April, but it's really not, because the season series, as we know, that's the first tiebreaker when it comes to postseason eligibility. So let's think about a scenario right here where it's September and these two teams are battling for a wild card spot. Could happen, certainly. Well, if the Cubs were to win tomorrow and win the season series, they would have the tiebreaker over the Padres. So, would be nice for the Padres to at least have an even 3-3 record against the Cubs. So tomorrow's game for that purpose, and we'll talk about these kinds of things as the season moves along. It is significant for that reason. Tomorrow, we'll talk a little bit more about tomorrow's game coming up a little bit later. We'll also hear from Manny Machado in just a moment as well. Get a little post-game reaction from Manny. First, let's hear tonight's catch of the game.
Which defensive play had the biggest impact on today's game?
He is at the wall, leaps up, and he makes the catch.
This is the catch of the game.
Gonna hang a star for Jackson Merrill.
Reeled in by Anthony's Fish Growing 80 years of seafood excellence.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Birdie hits it on the ground to first base. Arise has it coming home. Long throw. The tag is in time. Corner out at the plate. And this time, Luis Arise gets his man 2 away.
That was our catch of the game. Nice play by Luis Arise in the 6th inning to help keep the game tied at 1, and it would help Adrian Morajón get through that 6th inning with the game still tied at 1. So at the time, and really when you think about the entire course of this game, that was a big defensive play by Luis after he had trouble picking up that bunt a couple plays earlier off the bat of Pete Crow Armstrong. But that play by Luis, good, strong, accurate throw to home plate, helped keep the game tied at 1, and it would stay tied at 1 all the way until the 10th inning. So even though the Padres lost this one, despite that play, still very nice play by Luis Arise for our catch of tonight's game that came in the 6th inning, helping keep the game tied at 1. For Manny Machado, pretty quiet night. Well, let me rewind here. It was not a quiet night for Manny. Manny had the home run and accounted for the only run the Padres scored in this game. It was a quiet night, though, for the Padres offense, an offense that has been remarkably dynamic in the early part of this season. 1 run, 5 hits tonight, but more importantly, when you look at the numbers, again, the 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position, the 8 left on base. It was, some tough moments tonight. You can look at that 10th inning. You can look at some of the missed opportunities early. Again, not the end of the world for a team that's playing very, very well right now. You're going to have nights like this where you can't cash in on opportunities. You hope you bounce back with runners in scoring position tomorrow. But again, Manny did have the home run in this game. Let's go downstairs inside the clubhouse and hear some post-game reaction from Manny.
It feels like you guys are always right there, always one swing away.
What's the question?
Well, what's to say about this team that, even in a loss, you guys are always right there, one swing away?
Yeah, we obviously there to the end. We just couldn't capitalize on that one hit. We created some opportunities early on the game, bases loaded, went out, couldn't deliver. Then again, a couple of innings with some runners on second and third, we couldn't deliver, and just sometimes it goes that way.
In that 5th inning at bat, you get a couple extra chances there. What's your mindset when those balls fall and you're still battling?
Keep batting. Keep batting, keep going. He's been making tremendous pitches all game, and just keep trying to hunt that mistake. He didn't get many, and it's lucky enough to put one in the seats.
After that first one, Tucker brought kind of a life. Do you feel like you got a second life there? Like,
yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, for sure. And talking about Gold Glover out there, so he's giving me another chance to go out there and continue to compete in the bat. That kind of change the game a little bit. So I was definitely excited to see some more pitches.
And then after the second one, I remember like, all right, now I got to put one in the seats.
No, just continue to keep hunting that mistake, man. He was making some good pitches, really good pitches. Kept finding them off.
You really pitched right with him tonight. Like, he did a great job last year, but he was filling in, and this year he's a member of the rotation. What did you see from him this year?
He's been great, man. He's been attacking his zone, commanding his pitches, definitely confident up there on that mound. Trusting his stuff. I think a little bit last year, he kind of just didn't trust it, and this year it's just you see that confidence up there. I'm going up there and competing, and forgetting about the outcome, just going out there and competing. He did that tonight, obviously. The inning let up 2 hits, but hey, man, he went out there and competed for us and gave us an opportunity to go out there and put some runs for him. We just we couldn't execute. We had some chances early on to put them away, and we did it.
That was Manny Machado after tonight's 2-1 loss to the Cubs in 10 innings. Look, I think Manny hit the nail on the head right there. Execution's the name of the game, certainly in the 10th inning. Bottom line, Cubs executed, got the run in, Padres didn't. And that's what it comes down to in the extra innings. And a good point by Manny there. And it goes back to what I said a little bit earlier about the missed opportunities. Look, the Padres had opportunities in this game again, like Manny alluded to put the game away. I mean, bases loaded in the third. They had Manny. This was a big part of this game right here. Bases loaded in the third. At the time, still a 0-0 game. Manny and Xander come up. Manny strikes out against Imanaga, and then Bogaerts pops out. I mean, that was a big spot. Bases loaded early, spot where you could really put up a crooked number. Padres couldn't do it. Then they had runners on second and third. In the 4th inning, 1 out. Hayward and Maldonado strike out. So those were 2 really, really good early opportunities. Padres couldn't find ways to cash in. They didn't have a ton of opportunities from that point on until they had the automatic runner in the 10th inning trailing by a run. But look, that's baseball sometimes, and you try to come back tomorrow for a team that's playing very well and go win a series tomorrow. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll hear from tonight's starting pitcher, Randy Vasquez. We'll look at the out-of-town scoreboard and more to come. Final score in 10, Cubs 2, Padres 1. More post-game after this. Welcome back to the Jamul Casino Resort post-game show, brought to you by the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players' Place. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. The ballpark has emptied out on this late Tuesday night, but don't worry, we're back at it tomorrow, 1:10 p.m. first pitch tomorrow. We'll have more on that game coming up in just a little bit. We'll have a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard in a moment. We're also going to go back downstairs and inside the clubhouse here from Randy Vasquez in a moment as well, our play of the game, and then wrap things up, get you ready for tomorrow. If you want to get a phone call in before we go, phone number is always 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
Everything has gone final in the major leagues tonight. Diamondbacks beat the Marlins 10-4 in Miami. Corbin Carroll, a grand slam in that game for Arizona. Reds beat the Mariners 8-4 in Cincinnati. Austin Hayes, a big 3-run home run in that game for Cincy. Nationals beat the Pirates 3-0 in Pittsburgh. James Wood, home run in that game, is 6th of the season. Former Padre prospect, part of the Soto deal. Wood off to a good start for the Nationals. Phillies and the Giants in Philadelphia. Phillies won 6-4. Bryce Harper, a home run in that game for the Phillies. Red Sox beat the Rays 7-4 in Tampa. Alex Bregman not only had a couple of home runs in that Red Sox win, but he had a 5-for-5 night. Big night for Bregman as the Red Sox win it 7-4. Guardians beat the Orioles 6-3 in Baltimore. Yankees 4, Royals 2 in the Bronx. Jason Dominguez, big bases clearing double in that game for the Yankees. Blue Jays beat the Braves 6-3 in Toronto. Anthony Santander, 3-run home run in that game for the Jays. Brewers beat the Tigers 5-0 in Milwaukee. Twins beat the Mets 6-3 in Minnesota. Brooks Lee, a home run in that game for the Twins. A's beat the White Sox 12-3 in Chicago. Tyler Soderstrom was off to a really good start. Remember, he was swinging the bat really well when the Padres were in Sacramento. Well, Soderstrom hit a pair of 3-run home runs in that game for the A's. Astros beat the Cardinals 2-0 in St. Louis. Jordan Alvarez, a home run in that game for Houston. Rangers beat the Angels 4-0 in Arlington. And finally, Dodgers beat the Rockies 6-2 in LA. Will Smith, the home run for the Dodgers in that one. And that's a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Tuesday. Well, like we said earlier, Randy Vasquez, very good today. Did give up 7 hits, did give up an earned run, did walk 2, struck out 2. But you know what? 5 solid innings for Randy. And again, you look at his numbers. 4 starts in. It's not all perfect. He's dealing with a lot of base traffic. But a 1.74 ERA in 20 innings and 2/3. I mean, he's done a nice job, Randy Vasquez, as of late, and at the start of his season, you know, keeping the Padres right in these games. And he certainly did that here tonight. Really did a good job matching a very, very, very good starting pitcher on the other side in Shota Imanaga. Let's go downstairs inside the Padres clubhouse. Here's some post-game reaction from Randy Vasquez alongside interpreter Jorge Merlos.
Yeah, good. Thank you. The same as you have most of the starts this year, or a little sharper even, more in the zone?
Lo mismo así como las salidas anteriores o un poquito más fino ahí en la zona.
En realidad más fino en la zona, sí, contando con el plan de ataque que planeamos en el medio.
Yeah, I mean, just the same as, like you said, with just attacking the zone, they're really strengthening the zone, and just what we talked about in the pitcher's meeting.
What do you think the difference is with you this year? That you are getting lefties out, throwing more strikes.
Que hay que hacer la diferencia este año, que está tirando más strike, que está sacando los zurdos, que se ve la diferencia.
En realidad la diferencia es que estoy confiando más en el plan de ataque, localizando mi picheo como debo de localizarlo, como lo hablamos en el meeting, y eso me da muchos resultados. Le he puesto más enfoque a eso.
Yeah, just believing in myself. I really think that I've been able to just get on that plan of attack that we talked about in our meetings, and I've just been able to locate it very well in the zone, and I think that's been helping me out much.
Last year, obviously,
You were back and forth a little bit. You had some inconsistency. What has it been this year, like going start to start, being part of the rotation and getting to kind of get into that 5-day group?
Sí, como estaba claro, el año pasado estamos subiendo y bajando, pero este año ya estamos en la rotación, ya claramente. Entonces, ¿cómo ha sido este año ya tener esa rutina? En realidad, el año pasado, como él dice, sí, me estaban bajando mucho, pero como yo siempre lo he dicho, que cuando el equipo me necesita, yo siempre voy a dar la cara. Y este año, gracias a Dios, me están dando la oportunidad de yo ser un pitcher estable. Y me siento bien, gracias a Dios, porque ellos están confiando que yo puedo lograr los objetivos. I mean, these guys are been able to, know that I am going out there and doing my job, and that's what I'm going out there to do. Yeah, as you said, I was sent up and down a lot last year, but they give me all the confidence in the world that I can go out there and do my job.
That was Randy Vasquez, tonight's starting pitcher, alongside interpreter Jorge Morelos. Again, Vasquez solid tonight, 5+ innings, 1 earned run, given up 7 hits, and kept it a 1-1 game, and did a nice job. Again, the other thing I should mention about Randy's start, which I really haven't said, is the fact that he started the 6th inning with the Padres up 1-0, gives up back-to-back singles, runners on first and third, nobody out. Morahone comes in, and then the bump by Crow Armstrong. If Arise picks it up cleanly, can get it home, they get the out at home. Who knows how this outing turns out? For all we know, Padres might be leading this game 1-0 after 5.5 innings, and who knows, maybe they win it 1-0 and Randy actually gets a win. So unfortunate that he ended up giving up the run, or at least being charged with the run, with what happened in the 6th inning with Morahone on the mound and Arise not being able to pick it up cleanly. Look, on that play with Arise, by the way, I don't know that Luis for sure, if he picks it up cleanly, makes a clean exchange, gets it to home, it was going to be a real close play at home plate. But they would have had a shot, and unfortunately, Luis couldn't get the handle on it, and tying run came in, but hey, it stayed tied at 1 until that top half of the 10th inning. Speaking of that top half of the 10th inning, let's hear tonight's play of the game.
The line between winning and losing can be razor thin. Which play was the difference between victory and defeat? This is today's play of the game, presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
2-0, the pitch. Horner swings, laces it into right center field. That's going to give him the lead for the first time tonight. Splits the gap, rolls all the way to the base of the wall. Swanson scores easily. Horner racing to third. No chance to get him there. It's an RBI triple for Nico Horner, and the Cubs in front 2-1.
That RBI triple by Nico Horner in the top of the 10th inning. Unfortunately, tonight our play of the game, as always, gives us no pleasure for an opposing highlight to be play of the game, but we do have some nights where it's kind of got to be that way when you're talking about consequential moments in the game. And hey, that was the game-winning run as the Cubs win it 2-1 against the Padres in 10 innings here tonight. As always, if you missed any portion of our post-game coverage, you can go back and listen to any or all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcast. And you can also go on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel and catch any portion of our post-game coverage there as well. Taking a look at tomorrow's game, final and rubber game of this 3-game set against the Chicago Cubs. First pitch tomorrow, 1:10 p.m. Arica Water SoCal Padres pregame show will begin at 12:10. Right-hander Nick Pivetta on the mound for the Padres. Left-hander Matthew Boyd on the mound for the Cubs. A look at the final totals in this one on this Tuesday night. For the Cubs, 2 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. They left on 14. For the Padres, 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error. They left on 8. Winning pitcher was Ryan Presley, who improves to 1-1. Losing pitcher was Yuki Matsui, who drops to 0-1. The save goes to Caleb Thielbar, his first of the season. Time of game, 3 hours on the dot. Exactly 3 hours here at Petco Park. And the crowd, 42,492, the 10th sellout of the season here in downtown San Diego. Once again, first pitch tomorrow, 1:10 p.m. We'll be with you beginning at 12:10 with our pregame coverage. Until then, For our great studio coordinators, Kyle Ovenshire and Nick DiNucci, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long and good night from Petco Park. Again, our final score in 10 innings tonight, the Chicago Cubs 2 and the San Diego Padres 1. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Padres Radio Network. Have a great night, everybody.